All right, Robert, let's get into this one. We are going through the thick of the changes that we need to make within the swing. So as you'll see within the warm-up, it's going back to its original version where we don't see the arms transitioning down. We fix that up rather quickly. You are very familiar with that movement of the vertical adduction and lowering the club. So you'll notice that the hands, the arms, they're going to lower it appropriately. We also added this aspect of the trail form supination. So it's a clockwise rotation from your perspective. It's a slight rotation of that trail form, and what it does is it keeps that shaft parallel to the original angle. See how initially it's a little bit above it? That's fine, but notice how you get it back to its ideal relationship to that angle, to that plane, and then it will gradually get closer to that line because you're in vertical adduction. That's excellent right there. You got that part. We just want to keep it. If you look at the original for a second, notice how it doesn't ever go back in that direction and the shaft only gets more vertical on the downswing. So it had reverted back to its old one for a minute, but we reviewed the vertical adduction, that little twist of the form, and then we got it back on track. That's what we need to see out of the transition there. And so right here, it's doing excellent. You have that transition in place, the chest is rotated back, your lower body's in a position to move, but the main challenge now is what's going to be bringing the club through the impact area. And right now there's still that tendency to use the chest and the arms to push and pull the club through. You'll notice that your trail foot stays on the ground the whole time. Look at that. It's not even active. It's not even budging from that position. It moves a little bit afterwards, but it's too little too late. And so with the chest rotating and the arms pushing, we just end up with an outside in path cutting across the golf ball with the occasional movement that puts the club head too far out. In reality, we just need to make sure that we are shifting and turning with the lower body versus rotating with the chest. But in terms of its relativity, its subjectivity to you, this is a pretty daunting task because it's changing entirely what we're swinging the club with. So what you want to do is continue to work that transition to this spot down here where we just move the club down towards that waist level. So keep that transition, but now from here we're just going to keep this in place and we want to shift and turn with the legs. Because with that, we'll get more to an inside-out path. And we saw it. It happened several times in this session, but it is a bit of a challenge. And so we have a couple of means of helping drill that. One of them was using that rod drill that I put through the belt loops. So there's that option. But we can also slow it down to make sure once you get the transition in place, then it's just complete lower body movement from here. You just want to shift over to your left side and attempt to hit the ball to the right side of the range or the right side of your target, whatever the reference is. You can always put one club down here aiming to your target and then another club over here just to give you a sense of where you want to hit that ball, because then we can start to work again more towards that inside out path. But this is the best the form has looked. It's just a matter of using the right order of movement through impact. The chest will rotate in the downswing, but we just want to make sure that the lower body's leading the way. And so it's getting really close here. It's just the timing is a little bit off. The lower body's just a little late to the party. So it's getting closer. Let me know if any questions come to mind. I'm happy to clarify things, and I can always supply more drills if necessary.